What's up, everybody? My name is CoalFire, and welcome back to Snake Eyes. Now, I had a really good time with this last time, and I didn't want to leave this game unfinished. I know that the demo is supposed to be about an hour long, so I think I'm going to break that up into about 3 parts. And look at this, I now have my cursor actually captured this time, so you guys can actually see what I'm pointing at on the map. But we just got finished speaking with the simple father who told us we needed to go to the house to encamp for the night. But I don't know if we should just head straight there. I kind of just want to see the main storyline. I did have to replay this in order to get back to where we were, and since the combat is based on chance, it did go a little bit differently. Everybody's hurt a little bit more than last time. His luck was not so much in my favor. But let's just head right to the house then. Yes, we will still move slow. Alright, what's going on here? The guest house was an old abandoned building, its dark interior showing signs of prolonged negligence. The windows had been opened to freshen the rooms, but the stench of humidity showed no intention to leave. Let's get out of here. Let's take a look around. Let's take a look around, suggested Rossano, studying the worn-out furniture. Most of it was ruined and dirty, despite a few paintings seemingly impervious to dust. They portrayed saints in martyrdom. The artwork gruesome and shockingly morbid. Oh, here's the painter's signature. This one was ruined? Let's do the signature. Oh, here's the painter's signature, said Stefani, studying the painting up close. I can barely read it, but I think it says Nicola Castiglioni. Castiglioni. A local painter, I suppose? That or they're of poor taste. A local painter, I suppose. Ultimo mused quietly. There's surely a lot of them. This was probably his house. The sharp sound of someone knocking at the door interrupted the conversation. The atmosphere in the room suddenly growing cold. Who's there? Shouted Vilma, a hand on his weapon. It's Donavati. I brought you something good to eat, answered a high-pitched voice. Oh, I kind of gave him like a low, creepy voice. Never mind. Vilma opened the door, finding himself face to face with the priest, his arm wrapped around a basket, emanating a mouth-watering smell. After a while, the priest smiled. May I come in? Yeah, sure, come in, Father, said Livetti, opening the door wide and letting Donavati in. He immediately went to set the table with all the food he had brought. Are you smelling this? Oh, what is the... Why are there cards on... I have to click on it just because there's cards. The action succeeds because of God's will. Oh, yeah, okay. The justice. Whoa, are you smelling this? Exclaimed Vilma, his nose delving closer to the abundant meal. The soup had a pleasant aroma, which felt like a warm, pleasant wind within Vilma's lungs. She managed to recognize all the ingredients with incredible precision, perhaps because this was a recipe her grandmother used to cook. For here in quel momento... For one moment, Livetti felt, for the first time after a while, optimistic on the future. So it seems like it might be just like a transcription error, that it's swapping back and forth between he and she for Vilma, because the artwork looks relatively feminine, and I was giving them a feminine voice, but it seems to be like swapping the pronouns back and forth. And that's just straight up some Italian in there. Whoa. Wow. Vilma sat at the table, looking forward to the meal. They took the time for a brief prayer before eating. The soup was hot and tasty, and filled them, chasing away the cold from the past days. Donavati smiled with satisfaction, seeing their contented expressions, and once the table was clear, he left, but not before blessing them and wishing them good night. You seem like a good dude. I gotta say, my first impression of you was pretty negative, just because you look like a bit of a creeper. I don't know, you just got a look about you. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have judged you. Only after a warm fire had been lit within the kitchen stove did the cold recede, making it possible to take away one's coat. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here, said Lavetti, going back to the door and opening it. The gust of cold, wet air beckoned them inside. Wait, did we stay the night? And where are we meeting you now? Like South Riverside? I think so. Yeah, let's head over there. St. Ezekiel, Store, Barracks, Cemetery, South Riverside. Walking past the small graveyard, they trudged through the windswept grass down towards the riverbank. The stream had swelled up from the seasonal rains and roared menacingly under the tenuous sunlight. Not far from there, under a leafless apple tree, was a small rowboat covered by a fairly worn tarp. There's something in the water. Let's move. Should we use the boat? Look on the opposite shore. I'm curious every time a card comes up. I don't know if that's just like a random chance interaction. The action fails, the character. Okay. What happened? The river flowed fast, water murky with mud and debris carried by the autumn rains. He thought he must have mistaken these stressful days were making him see things. The lay brother felt inadequate. Probably a log or some dirt, Mazzioni said, trying to turn the conversation towards something more pressing. I'd rather discuss what to do next, he said, stroking his arms to fight away the damp cold. The stream had swelled up from the seasonal rains and roared menacingly under the tenuous sunlight. Yeah, let's move this time. Let's not get ourselves into any other random chance situations. Time is of the essence, said Terziani. I'm so bad with these Italian names. All the, I's and A's everywhere. I don't know. It's just not name structure that I'm used to. Okay, so did that give us any clue as to where we're supposed to go? No, let's move. Look, on the opposite shore. Vilma said, pointing towards what looked like a massive building swallowed by the forest, its architecture seemingly religious. Could that be an abandoned convent? Abandoned? Ultimo asked. That's odd. I'd swear I could see a lit window from here. The stream had welled up from the season. Oh, yep. Should we use the boat? Ultimo suggested, his worried gaze on the furious water. Yeah, I don't want to steal, and Donavati promised he would take us to the other side, Ultimo said stubbornly. We should wait for Donavati. Ultimo said resolutely. We shall return. Tomorrow morning, okay. How do I tell... Is this the time of day up here? North Riverside. Can we go over there right now? Okay, change destination. Yeah, I wonder if I just have to, pass enough time. Let's take our time over there. Okay, yeah, so time moves forward when I move. And is this long strip the night? I don't know. Cemetery. St. Ezekiel's small graveyard emerged from the brushwood, rising under the milky light of day. A few wooden crosses dotted the rocks and uncovered graves, the corpses unearthed and destroyed for fear of their awakening. Only the flow of the nearby river broke the silence. I wonder who these tombs belong to, Stefani thought, approaching to better read the names on the wood, still perfectly readable. The nearest tomb belonged to Nicola Castiglione, as we figured out earlier. The second to Elvira Castiglione. Both had passed away in July of 1945. A sentence was written on both, with loving memory, the sister, Elisabetta. Tombs dating past the doomsday were unusual within the Sanctum Imperium, whose laws enforced the cremation of all bodies. We must see what's inside the tombs, Mazzioni suggested, unable to mask his curiosity. We could use those shovels. Maybe we should wait for tonight? Maybe we should wait for tonight, Rossano mused aloud. His companions agreed. Let's leave this somber place. I guess we'll leave. I don't really want to do anything else that has, like, chance involved. Let's go to the store. Because why not? Part of me just wants to go for a little walk around and, you know, pass enough time. What does this do? Oh, store. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh. Rest till dawn. There we go. I figured things out. Guys, we're making progress. South Riverside. Walking past the small graveyard, they trudged... Yeah, we already did that. Should we use the boat? I don't want to steal. We should wait. I don't like that priest, Lavetti confessed. I suspect he's hiding something. Let's move. You know what? Honestly, let's just take the boat. Let's push it into the waters. Terziani said, dragging the boat towards the river. I'll take a row, Terziani said, sitting in the boat. Make you take the other one. I'll take the other then, Mazzioni said, sitting by Terziani. Keep an eye on the river. Yeah, you'll keep an eye on the river, Lavetti said, taking up position near the bow. Crossing the river proved to be difficult. Water shook the boat like a frenzied bull, and the muddy bottom hid more than a few sharp rocks. More than once, they had to maneuver around the debris hurled at them by the current. I've got a bad feeling about this. The action succeeds because of a surreal twist of fate. If you draw this card, the deck reshuffles. +1 vigor. Very nice. They had made it halfway through the river when a clawed hand grasped the side of the boat, shaking it. The ensuing blood-curdling howl was worthy of the darkest nightmares, a fiendish dead, her body, rotten, barely resembling that of a woman, turned her eyeless gaze and decayed maw towards them, belying a feral intellect. With a retching growl, the monster reached towards them, trying to drag them overboard. He acted quickly, managing to escape the creature's ambush. Luckily enough, the fiend was hindered by the current, unable to catch up with the boat again. They hurried out of the boat as soon as it touched the shore, hoping to escape the danger once on the ground. However, all it took was to gaze at the river to see the monstrous shape rising from the ravenous water. "She's coming!" Lavetti screamed, getting ready for what looked like a deadly Confrontation, not confirmation. Wow, way to suck all the tension out of that situation, CoalFire. Attack! Oh, there's just the one of you. Shotgun. Point blank. Yes, please. Succeeds as expected. -3. You still have to reload. What is this? Blind shot? Bonus on the next action with shotgun or revolver. Yeah, we'll reload. So we're gonna have to eventually. Gain stability? Hell yes. I should take more time to look at the artwork on those tarot cards, because it's really beautiful. Let's use revolver on you, because we get 2 cards. Action succeeds, but enemy will deal little damage. Action succeeds better than expected. On attacks, the weapon jams. Just like, look at how messed up that is. Torture wheel, and then the blind justice. God, this artwork is just absolutely beautiful. Do we want to take damage or have the weapon jam? I think we'd rather take damage. I don't know. I'm gonna go with that. Who's gonna take? Okay. Ow. Alright, and then you get a rifle shot. The action fail. The action fail. Oh man. Well, I guess we'll take damage. Wah, wah. Okay, that's not. I guess all of our health refilled overnight when we slept. So let's reload because I think this is going to be a little bit longer of a fight. God, look how freaking cool that is. It reminds me of. Oh man, I can't remember his name. The surgery addicted Nazi from Hellboy. Carl? Hold on. Carl Rupert Cronin. Yeah, here's a picture of him. Isn't that gross? Yeah, I always really liked that character, just from the way that he looked. Action succeeds, but the weapon jams or moves closer to the enemy. But we're already as close as we can be, so that doesn't matter. Let's also reload. The death. Character is stunned. Action fails. The character is stunned, moves far from the enemy. Enemy deals damage and on attacks, the weapon jams. No, let's move far from the enemy. Wait, did we fail the reload? Or was that a succeed? I honestly don't remember. Revolver? On you? The action succeeds better than expected. The character will gain... Okay, yeah. Oh man, I didn't look at the cards there. They're all so freaking unique and detailed, and almost all of them are really gruesome. We go Boom Boom Stick on you. Succeeds as expected. Succeeds better than expected. And a reshuffle. But like, look at that. The sun. And what is that, like a vampire in sunlight? And the fool is like a gas mask wearing Joker homeless guy with his leg being chewed on by a ravenous dog? These are so cool. I would love to just like have all of these in like a single frame hung up somewhere. That would be so freaking cool. Oh wow, 5 damage. That's really nice. Oh, we're close. Okay, let's just use the axe so that we can have you fully loaded. Action fails, action fails. Terrible damage. Damage and the weapon jams. So, okay, yeah, I was gonna say, is the devil really worse than the death? But I suppose that's up for debate. Let's go with the death, because it's not terrible damage. I still don't know how an axe can jam. Oh, why'd it have to be you? Yeah, you had already taken damage. Crap. We'll go revolver. Action fails, action succeeds, character moves closer to the enemy, and enemy deals damage. The judgment? Everybody like rising from their graves to... Is that Gabriel? Gabriel's horn? I don't know. But like, look at this. The priestess. She's like a scientist with a whole bunch of chained up people. There's something in that one's chest and you're angry. Man, I absolutely love this artwork. Oh, it said defeated. I thought it said deflected for a second. You still get to attack after death? That's a little weird. Alright, we have 2 stunned characters. The combat was cruel. And at the end, they were victorious. Still exhausted, they finally pulled their boat out of the water, surveying the desolate shore to see if they could see the collapsed bridge. The road to Ravenna seemed clear. Not far from them, a narrow, overgrown path climbed towards a large building. Take a look at that building. I think in the next episode, we're going to take a look at that building. But I am really, really enjoying this. Honestly, going into the first episode, I didn't know whether or not I would even like the game at all. But it's really just like... I don't have any experience with it, sadly, and I kind of wish that I did. It seems like a D&D campaign, which, you know, the game's inspired from a pen and paper tabletop game. So I think those comparisons are, you know, desired and intentional. But I didn't really expect it to be this in-depth of, like, a choice-based narrative. And I really like it. The writing is super interesting, and I just love how detailed everything is, from the artwork to the responses to everything. And I don't know, I'm sure if I spent enough time with this and like explored every nook and cranny, I would figure out all kinds of cool stuff about this world. It seems like there's a lot going on here that is just beneath the surface, like whatever is in that building, which we'll find out next time, and all of the other buildings and the like points that I didn't stop in back in the town. And I did notice that on my second time through, the specific lines weren't assigned to specific characters. So when I was going through the second time, there were lines that we had chosen from somebody, and it was completely different from who was saying it. So I don't know if there's anything behind character motivations in the lines that they speak, or if it just comes up randomly as to like who's saying what in which situation. So I don't know, I think it could work really well both ways, because with specifically scripted dialogue for certain characters, you could probably work in a little bit more character depth with who you're working with. From what I understand of the demo, this is just like a 1-hour snapshot from the middle of the game. So there's a whole bunch before this, there's a whole bunch after this. I think there's a lot more characters involved that you can swap out in and out of the party. Characters can die permanently at any point in combat. There's a lot going on here, and I really like that this game is focusing entirely on the branching pathways and the storytelling and the characterization and the like world building. I think I already said that once. I don't know. It's nice to see an RPG for PC that isn't so obsessed with good graphics or convincing storylines in terms of like voice acting and shallow choice-based stuff like Skyrim or Fallout, the newer Fallouts, not the older Fallouts. Holy hell, the old ones. I don't know, I like this. It's just like going back to the roots, and that's really, really cool. It's nice to see something that is directly inspired from like classic tabletop role-playing games. But I think I've rambled on for well long enough. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you're enjoying this one, because I really am. My name is CoalFire, and I will see you next time.